Welcome to It's Learning, Wayland's new comprehensive student content management system. To access It's Learning, simply navigate to the Wayland High School website's homepage. On the left, you will find the It's Learning icon. If you access this icon, you will be presented with the It's Learning logon page. Here you need to put in your username and your password, and your username is your first name _ last name. And then your password is WPS and your student ID. The first time you log in, you are forwarded to a page that only displays the first time. It is the It's Learning welcome page, and you will be asked to enter your school email address, which is your first name _ last name at student.wayland.k12.ma.us. Go ahead and enter that in and then click Save to proceed to the main page called the dashboard. On the dashboard, you will see any new school-wide messages and news since your last visit, as you will see right here. You will also see over on the right-hand side some quick links to resources that you may want to use, and you will see a list of the courses that you are enrolled in. Now, every single course that you are taking will be listed here, but not every single teacher will be using It's Learning this year. So wait for the instruction from your teacher to understand whether you'll be using it or not. Also, you will see if you have any unread messages and anything about any tasks or projects that you're involved in. I am going to go ahead and select a course that I'm actually involved in this year at the Wayland High School called Wayland Rises. By selecting that, I am brought into the area that is specific to this course. Here you will see a very recognizable form of It's Learning. Across the top are your menu items. So the dashboard was the main page where you logged in. Here's a list of my courses, and I had selected this course, so I got in here. Any projects that I'll be involved in are located here, and then there's calendar and some other items that we will discuss later. On the left-hand side is my navigation bar of how I will get through and access the components of this specific course. And then in here, this is actually called the work area, and this is where you will find everything that you are involved in this class. Let me just take a minute and talk about the work area within your course. The first thing that you'll see is there's bulletins here, and this is anything that your teacher may want to notify you about. You will then see underneath it some activities. It says activities to and including, so it has any activity from the current date and 1 week ahead of time so that you can see what's been added. You will also see if there's any follow-up tasks or any new and edited elements that have occurred since the last time you logged in. Let me go ahead and select my first lesson of this class. Here you will see that there are many different components that my teacher will tell me when I should be using and when I need to open it and give me follow-on instructions. One of the things that I would like to talk to you about that most teachers will be using is called the discussion. If I choose that, there will be follow-on instructions that my teacher will give me, which will tell me how to go about being included in this discussion. Down here will be the actual questions, and then when I want to reply, I just click on the post reply. I give it the subject title, and then I put in how I would want to respond. So I can go ahead and type in here, or as you will see throughout It's Learning, there's other options besides just typing. I may want to add a voice component to it, or I may want to video record myself. So I'm just going to cancel that for right now. I just want to point out a couple other components of It's Learning, and then as you progress through the year, we will introduce you to some of the more advanced features of this environment. But right here, my settings are several things that you can do within your environment. So I've selected my settings. There's 4 options here. Under the change details, what you would like to do here is most of the stuff is default, but you have the option of giving a nickname for your when you do chats with your classmates, and you should probably upload a picture of yourself which will identify you as you go through the course and you are involved in the video chats as well as in your online discussion. If I go back to my settings, the second thing that you can look at is customize its learning. The thing that I want you to look on here is I want to make sure your text editor is selected to rich text, because this will allow you to do audio and video. If I go back to my settings again, here's an important part, the change password, and this is what I would like all of you students to do, is to put in the WPS student ID and then enter a new password and make sure it's something that you can remember. Once again, it's important that you keep your password private as you would with any password. And the final thing is an alerts. And this is if you want to be notified on your cell phone or your email every time a teacher gives you a new assignment or if there's a bulletin put out. Now just remember that if you do put in your cell phone and you want to be alerted that way, that standard text rates apply. So be careful when you choose this. Another component that I wanted to point out is the messaging piece. Now messaging is a little different than email. You have to think of this messaging component as an internal component to its learning where you can communicate with your fellow classmates that are in your class. So as with most email or messaging components, if you want to create a new message, you click on that. And I just wanted to point over here, there's 2 icons. To find a fellow classmate, you can just put in their last name and then say search. Then you select this box here, you check it and say OK, and they will put the person's name in here. If you add that person to a contacts list, later on you can go to the second icon here and just select everyone in your contact list and add them to your message. This is a great way to do internal communications within your class without having to leave its learning. The final thing that I want to talk to you about or make you aware of is the calendar. This, unfortunately, is not linked to our Google Calendar, but it does allow you to keep track of everything if you have multiple courses going on, different deadlines, or if an instructor decides to make you a project manager of a project. It's a good way to post different things that are due so that everyone who's in your class can go and look at this calendar. And you can look at it by month, week, day. And over here, under the show, when it says all of your classes will be here. But you could just go in and look at the particular course that you're involved in, and that will just have you focus on that class. So right now, that's it that I wanted to talk to you about within this environment. There's a lot more, and we will expose you to it as the year progresses. But I hope you enjoy it, and please see myself or your teacher if you have any questions. Thank you very much.